The Kurds, a saga of resilience, culture and struggle. A people without borders. With a population of over 26 million, the Kurds stand as the largest ethnic group in the Middle East, without a state to call their own. Spanning the rugged mountains and fertile plains of Turkey, Iran, Iraq and Syria, they have endured centuries of displacement, oppression and conflict. Yet amidst these trials, the Kurdish people have preserved their vibrant culture, unwavering resilience, and a profound sense of identity. Origins of the Kurds. The Kurds trace their lineage back to Indo-European tribes that settled in the Zagros mountains during the second millennium BC. Historical texts first mention them as Sirti in the 2nd century BC. Over time, they became synonymous with nomadic mountain dwellers. By the 7th century AD, the term Kurd referred broadly to various tribes that shared a distinct language and culture. The story of the Kurds stretches back thousands of years, entwined with the rich history of the ancient civilizations of Mesopotamia. The Kurds are believed to be descendants of the Medes, an Iranian people who, in the 7th century BCE, played a pivotal role in toppling the mighty Assyrian Empire. The Medes established one of the first empires in the region, known as the Median Empire, and their influence continues to shape Kurdish culture and identity. Today, the Kurds are spread across a mountainous region where Iran, Iraq and Turkey converge. Known historically as Kurdistan, this rugged landscape has been their homeland for centuries. Despite being divided by modern political borders, the Kurds have maintained a unique cultural identity that transcends state lines. A history of struggle. The Kurdish story is one of perseverance against a backdrop of betrayal and oppression. After the Ottoman Empire's collapse post-World War I, the Kurds found themselves divided among newly formed states: Turkey, Iran, Iraq and Syria. In Turkey, over 13 million Kurds were denied recognition of their identity. Although restrictions on spoken Kurdish were lifted in 1991, publishing or teaching the language remains prohibited. The rise of the Kurdistan Workers' Party, PKK, in 1984 marked a turning point, as the group launched an armed rebellion against Ankara. However, the state responded with mass displacements, destruction of villages and brutal crackdowns, leaving millions homeless. Iraq's Kurdish population has faced equally harrowing experiences. In the 1980s, Saddam Hussein's regime unleashed chemical weapons on Kurdish villages, killing thousands. Later, the Gulf War and subsequent Kurdish uprisings in 1991 led to mass displacement. International intervention established a safe haven, but internal divisions among Kurdish factions and continued external threats have left their autonomy fragile. Despite their rich cultural heritage, the Kurds have never enjoyed the luxury of a united, independent state. The collapse of the Ottoman Empire after World War I and the subsequent division of Kurdish lands among Turkey, Iraq, Iran and Syria left the Kurds without a homeland. The Treaty of Sèvres, 1920, promised the Kurds an independent state, but this promise was later rescinded by the Treaty of Lausanne, 1923, which divided their lands among the newly formed nations. Since then, the Kurds have faced decades of political repression, cultural suppression and violent conflict, particularly in Turkey, Iraq and Syria, life in exile and the diaspora. The forced displacement of nearly 3 million Kurds has reshaped the demographic landscapes of cities like Diyarbakir, Mersin and Adana. These urban centers, unprepared for the influx, now grapple with overcrowding, unemployment and strained public services. Beyond the Middle East, Kurdish communities have established a presence in Europe, the former Soviet Union and Lebanon, where they continue to fight for political recognition and cultural preservation. The landmark case of Kalekshi village, which reached the European Court of Human Rights in 1992, brought international attention to the systematic destruction of Kurdish villages in Turkey. It set a precedent, marking the first time the court ruled against the Turkish state for violating the human rights of displaced Kurds, a rich cultural heritage. Despite centuries of displacement and violence, Kurdish culture remains vibrant and resilient. Music and dance. Kurdish music is the lifeblood of their cultural expression. Instruments like the duduk, tambur, and daf create hauntingly beautiful melodies that tell stories of love, loss and resistance. The Govan dance, performed during weddings and festivals, symbolizes unity and strength. Dancers form circles, moving rhythmically to the beat, reflecting their communal spirit. Hospitality and cuisine. Kurdish hospitality is legendary. Guests are treated with warmth, generosity, and an array of traditional dishes such as kebabs, dolmas, and Kurdish pilaf. Tea, served in small glasses, is more than a beverage. It is a gesture of respect and a cornerstone of social interaction. Tea plays a central role in Kurdish hospitality. It is often served in small glasses, and it is a sign of respect to offer it to guests. Sharing tea is a way to bond, and it forms part of almost every social interaction, whether casual or ceremonial. The concept of hospitality is not limited to family or close friends. It extends to strangers and travelers, and it is believed that turning someone away would bring bad luck. Traditional practices. The Kurds have preserved ancient practices, from weaving intricate carpets to crafting jewelry that carries symbolic meaning. Their traditional attire, characterized by vivid colors and patterns, is a testament to their connection to nature and heritage. Religion. The Kurdish people practice a variety of religions, with the majority being Sunni Muslims, followed by Shiite Muslims, Yazidis, and Christians. Religious practices differ based on these beliefs, but all share a deep connection to spirituality. Islamic practices. The majority of Kurds are Sunni Muslims, and their religious practices align closely with mainstream Sunni Islam. Daily prayers, salah, fasting during the holy month of Ramadan, and giving zakat, charity, are central to Islamic practice. In some areas, Kurdish Muslims also observe special ceremonies, festivals, and religious gatherings. Yazidi religion. The Yazidis, a Kurdish religious minority, follow a unique set of beliefs, heavily influenced by ancient Mesopotamian traditions and Zoroastrianism. The peacock angel, Melek Taus, is the central figure in Yazidi worship, symbolizing the balance of good and evil. Yazidis celebrate New Year, called Charshem Asor, and other religious holidays with prayers, fasting, and pilgrimages to their holy sites, including the Lalish Temple in northern Iraq. Christianity. Kurdish Christians, who are mostly found in Turkey, Iraq, and Syria, celebrate Christian holidays like Christmas and Easter. In some Kurdish regions, Christian and Muslim communities live side by side, sharing a deep respect for one another's traditions. For all Kurds, religion plays a central role in shaping their worldview, guiding their moral compass, and providing solace in times of hardship. Kurdish language and identity. The Kurdish language is a cornerstone of Kurdish identity, belonging to the Indo-European language family. The Kurdish language is divided into several dialects, with Kurmanji and Sorani being the most widely spoken. Despite centuries of oppression, including efforts by several nations to suppress the Kurdish language, the Kurds have preserved and cherished their linguistic heritage. The language serves as a tool of resistance, a way to maintain their distinct identity, and a bridge that connects generations of Kurds across time and borders. Resources and the quest for justice. Kurdistan's land is rich in resources, from oil in Kirkuk and Kanikin to minerals like chrome, coal, and copper. However, these resources have often been a source of conflict. Governments in Iraq, Turkey, and Syria exploit these assets while denying the Kurds their share, exacerbating tensions and deepening feelings of injustice. The Kurds have long fought for autonomy and fair resource distribution, but their demands are often met with resistance. In Iraq, the Kurdish regional government has achieved limited autonomy, but political instability and external pressures threaten its sustainability. Modern-day challenges and resilience. The Kurds continue to face challenges, from political marginalization to armed conflicts. In Turkey, Iran, and Syria, efforts to suppress Kurdish identity persist. Yet the Kurds remain defiant. Through education, activism, and cultural revival, they fight to keep their heritage alive. In Iraq, the post-1991 safe haven allowed the Kurds to rebuild. But internal rivalries between the Patriotic Union of Kurdistan, PUK, and the Kurdish Democratic Party, KDP, have hindered progress. External interference from regional powers further complicates their struggle for self-determination, a people's legacy. The Kurds are more than a marginalized ethnic group. They are a symbol of resilience and hope. Their history is a poignant reminder of the costs of statelessness and the enduring power of cultural identity. As the world watches their ongoing struggle, the Kurdish story continues to inspire movements for justice and human rights. Through their music, traditions, and unwavering spirit, the Kurds teach us the value of unity, perseverance, and the fight for dignity. Let us remember the Kurds, not only for their struggles, but also for their rich heritage and contributions to humanity. Their story is far from over, and their quest for recognition and peace continues to echo across the mountains they call home. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the history, culture, and myths of the Kurdish people. If you enjoyed this deep dive, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Tribal Mysteries Unveiled for more fascinating explorations of the world's tribes. What tribe or culture should we explore next? Let us know in the comments and stay tuned for more captivating stories.